So we're going to do these awesome sunflowers in watercolor. Yay! All right, so remember, this is abstract. It's not perfect. It's watercolor. We want those beauteous little colors to blend together. And in your kit, again, this little blue brush is crud. What we do with this blue brush? Chuck it. We don't want that blue brush. It's not good. So with your cards, you're going to be set up a little bit different. You're going to be wanting to be on the table flat, not like this. I'm only doing it like this so that way you can see it camera-wise. Also, you want your card, of course, you want it right here when you're painting. So you can kind of open it up, lay it flat on the table, and do it right here on this side. This right here is just so you can see the picture, and then I'm going to paint the picture. It's just so that way you have a better visual of what is going on. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a big old fuzzy brush. That's right, big old fuzzy right here. We're going to take him, put him to work. And we're going to get ours a little wet. My water cup's a little bit behind my easel, so that way there's a little bit of room. And we're going to get the yellow right here. We're going to get the yellow a little wet. Bear with me as I get used to this video because everything's backwards. And what we're going to do, now I'm painting this picture right here. So what I'm going to do is there's this little half circle which is going to be the pretend center of the flower. Then what we're going to do is we're going to do petals. Now when you're doing these petals, it's almost like arms on a clock. Okay, so say this is 2 o'clock. This is going to go to 3 o'clock, then 4 o'clock, then 5 o'clock. Just so that way, the petals are kind of heading on out. Now, I'm vertical, so it's going to be a little drippy as I go along. When you're laying yours flat, you won't have those issues. So there's the basic flower for the upper left-hand corner. That's just the starter. Just to get us going. There we go. There's the yellow. I'm going to add just a little bit more water. Now, you don't want it drippy wet, but you want it enough so that way it's spreading its color. And again, I'm going to do the half circle. Remember, sound effects help. And then they're almost teardrop shaped when you make those petals. And again, it's kind of abstract. So don't you worry about them being a little funky because we want it not perfect, just like nature. And I just keep adding a little bit of water as I go. And again, if you get these little brushes right here, these little buggers tend to shed. So if you get like a little hair, you can pull it out now, or you can wait until your watercolor dries and then just kind of flick it off. So don't worry if you get any little hairs going on. If you get a little hairy painting, don't worry. It'll come right off. So we have our basic shape of our petals right now. So next, I'm going to actually wipe my brush off a little bit. And I'm going to go into the orange. Now remember, no two are ever alike. So here's my orange. Whoop, whoop. Adding a little bit of color in there. See how I kind of curve it when I do my brush strokes? I kind of curve along as I go. I kind of do that curve. I'm going to add a little bit of water. Oh, that might have been a little too much water because I'm vertical right now. Whoop. But again, whoa, you won't have that problem because you won't be vertical. But it's a good lesson on why you don't want to go vertical while you're doing watercolors. So there's that. Boy, this one's a wild one. It doesn't want to sit still. Kind of like me. This whole staying at home thing is driving me bonkers. All right, so then we're going to add a little bit of orange in our bottom one as well. So, and just take your time. I tend to just kind of fly through just because I am the furthest thing from OCD. So I kind of just go with it and follow my instincts. So you can kind of see it coming together now. You can kind of see those colors in there, the basic shape. It's absolutely not perfect, and that's a beautiful thing. We don't want it perfect at all. We want it with character. So I'm washing my brush off now and then wiping it on paper towel. Then I'm going to dip it in the red. And we're going to add just a little bit of red. And this red is going to be just on the edge of the petals. I'm pushing it a little bit just because it's a little wet. So there. So we got a little bit of red going on. And there's no exact method to the madness. It's really just kind of highlighting it. Getting some beautiful color in there. Separating those gorgeous petals we just created. So now we got some separation going on. They actually look more like petals that are separate. And we're going to blend in some of those colors that are coming in strong, so to speak. Yeah, there's one right there. There, so now we kind of get those outlines in there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go back. We're going to go back into our orange. Add some more orange in there, right in the center. And the trick really is just knowing how much water to add. And as you go along, you're going to get the feel for that. So just trust yourself. I know that sounds a little weird, but just trust yourself. You'll get the feel of it. You'll get the hang of it. Deep breaths. Even the OCD people, you got this. You so got this. Just go with it. Nice and beautifully. So adding a little bit of orange in there, here and there. Yeah. So, while we're waiting for that to dry, notice there's some crazy green going on. We're going to do a little bit of that crazy green, so we're going to wash our brush. Get our green a little wet. And we're just going to do like some crazy shapes for like, that way it's hints of leaves. We just want hints of leaves here and there. Ta-da! So now we got some beautiful green in there. We're going to wash our brush off. Make sure all that green is off. Then we're going to go back into our yellow. Yellow, yellow. And we're going to add some yellow back in there. Brighten it back up. There we go. Boom! We got some yellow back in there. Yay! So we got some beautiful yellow in there now. They're gorgeous flowers. Yes. And as it dries, it kind of changes color a little bit. So just kind of trust the process. Next, I'm going to add a little bit of white. So I'm getting my white wet. A little bit of the tinge of the yellows going in there, which is fine. And we want to just do a little bit of white in the center. Give it a little bit more character. And again, if you get those little fuzzies in there, don't worry about it. It's okay. There, and that just kind of lightens it up just enough to brighten it up. And there we go. Remember, no two are going to be alike either. But can you see how pretty it is? Just that abstract color coming in through. It's exciting, isn't it? Yay! I love it. All right, so next, we have the centers. So I'm gonna do my purple first. And it's purple and blue for the centers. So here's my purple, just getting a little wet. And I kind of just dab away. And it might take like a couple layers just to get that true darker purple. So do a layer, let it dry. And that's really the trick, is just letting it dry before you do the next layer. And it makes a huge difference. So it's just the patience of watching paint dry is kind of what it comes down to. And I just do that dabbing technique, that good old dab. You can see like just letting it dry a little bit. See how it grabs it a little bit better? That's kind of what we're looking for. So we want to dab away. See that? Yay! It's coming just like our other sunflower. And again, I just wash my brush, wipe it off on a paper towel. And our next color is going to be blue. So I just kind of, I don't do too much blue at a time. I want to kind of control that. So I kind of wipe it on there. And then I dab away. And oh, it makes it perfect. I love the combination of the two. Now, when you're creating the center of the flower, if you don't make the center of the flower big enough, it's gonna look more like a black-eyed Susan than a sunflower. So make sure you do your centers nice and big. Don't be shy, give it to it. And that way it looks more like a sunflower. And I think I'm gonna add a little more purple to my other one, because I like the purple a little bit better, or I'm more of a purple fan, I guess. So I'm going to add a little more purple to it. Just kind of give it that abstract look. Awesome. Yay, we're getting there. So there you go. We have our centers now created. And if you look really close to the original, see how there's splatter spots in there? If you want to do those splatter spots, whew, that's a tongue twister. All you do is what I did is I added a lot of water to my purple. And I practiced on my tablecloth a little bit before I did this before. Then you just do the flicking technique. And you can create splatter on there. And it's up to you how much splatter you want. You can practice again on your tablecloth or something else if you want. And last but not least, you should also have a smaller brush. And you want to make sure to sign your masterpiece. So that way when you send a personal card like this, they know it's an original, you did it, you took the time to make it, and they will really appreciate it. So I want to thank you very much. You guys are rock stars. I greatly appreciate it. And you now have a adorable sunflower card that you can give to somebody to show them that you care. And again, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. And I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you have any questions or concerns or anything at all, please message me, Sue at Creative Events. Thank you.